Welcome to an all-new episode of Figure It Out, the show where we mix our love of figures with our love for everything else. As you see, we got the OG squad here today. No special guests, just the OGs. Starting off with Joel. What's going on, Joel?
What's going on, Juwaan?
I am really excited to talk these topics. Sorry, guys. I know we did it. We did our Snyder cut of Figure It Out last week, our 4-hour cut. This episode will not be that.
Crazy.
I mean, look, like I said, there was just a lot to break down, a lot to talk about.
And we still talked for like 20 minutes after that.
We did. We ended the show and then continued, and then we were just like, all right, we got to go.
You never continue on a regular one when I'm there. What's wrong? You're hurting my feelings, bro.
You know, now you put the pressure on us. Now it's like, all right, well, now we have to do it today. But next up, Pete, what's going on, Pete?
What's up, everybody? Happy to be here. Salud.
Absolutely. And last but definitely not least, Jaydee.
What up, Streamland? How's everybody tonight?
All right. So these topics, I'm really excited for these topics. I want to start off with FanDome.
Before we get into the topic, can I show some new purchases?
Oh, for sure. Yes, for sure.
This is our show primarily.
I wasn't going to show mine, but yeah, go ahead.
And you guys, I think Pete has these already. But I'm excited because I find my stuff in the wild. You know, I can't sit and wait in order. I'm a hunter. I'm a hunter. Right? And I hunt, and sometimes I fail and sometimes I succeed. So here we go.
Nice.
Flint.
Okay, there you go.
Very happy. You had him already?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I do have Flint. I do.
Yeah,
I got him after Pete showed me. And what's actually cool about that Flint is, I know it's a lot of people, they're like, who cares? But that shotgun folds down, like as if you were loading it, as if you were loading it.
Nice. I see the pin.
Yeah, so I like that. I thought that was cool.
And then, well, you know, I mean, his unofficial girlfriend, the Lady of J.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm very, very, very happy. I don't know if you guys got it also, but I'm psyched. And then, you know, I always do the thrifting stuff. And I don't know how well you guys remember an old TV show, an old cartoon. It was an 80s cartoon. And it was called Mask.
I remember Mask.
I remember Mask, but
so finding toys out in the wild for Mask is really hard. But you guys know I'm always thrifting, and here's a thrift sealed bag. Okay, is this the first for you? Right, an unbagging, recorded unbagging of a Mask figure, and here he goes. He's back in here, and he's the lead character of the show. His name was Matt Tracker, and he's the one that had the Thunderbird, right? The main piece of the cartoon. But for the toys, he also came with the big Rhino. So it was a 2-pack. It was a tractor trailer figure, and I mean, there's no helmet, but you know, this is a nice little 2.5-inch piece goodness over here of Kenner plastic. You know, Kenner was the toy company back then. Star Wars, Mask, Kenner Superpowers.
Yep.
I mean, they had great lines, you know. And then here we go, baby. So official Matt Tracker, found at a thrift store for $1.99.
Can't beat that.
Right? And I'm sure I could sell them on eBay for nothing less than like $5-6. You know? And
good turn of profit.
Quick profit right there, guys. You know?
Speaking of profit and 80s toy lines, I got a question for you guys. See what you think about this. So another 80s toy line was Jace and the Wheeled Warriors. I don't know how many people remember that. Jay, I'm sure you do.
Yes.
So while I was cleaning the basement, I came across like 2 little pieces of all I had left. One was just a drill for this guy, Drill Sergeant. And the cool thing about these vehicles and stuff was they had little bitty guys like this that would come with like the Transformers Masterpiece, like same kind of scale. And all of the pieces, the wheels, the weapons and shit were all interchangeable. They all had the same like conjoining male-female pieces. So those were pretty cool. So I came across the Drill and Saw Boss, who was the lead bad guy. His buzzsaw was like on a vine, like a evil living vine. But so I got those up on eBay right now. I didn't know what to piece them together because there's not a whole lot of shit there. You know, there's nothing in the sold items for me to gauge a price. So I got the Drill up, and I got it up for like $3. Somebody offered me $750. Like, I never see anybody fucking offer me more money than what I have something listed for. Everybody always wants a low ball shit. So the fact that he went so high up, like almost triple what my price is, I'm sitting there like, is this shit worth more money than I'm thinking it is? Because like Jay, some G.I. Joe weapons are like fucking $30 because they get lost easily.
It could also be. No, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jaydee.
No, G.I. Joe weapons, dude. Bionic 6 weapons.
Yeah.
The baseball glove from Sport One will go for stuff. Dr. Scarab's little drill wrench thing goes for $5 to $10. I'd counter him for 10 and see if he bites.
I mean, he also could be putting in a higher bid to make sure he gets it. Like no one else is.
That's
like
what I'm saying. Like
bidding.
If you're gonna bid $750 and it, there's not. I don't think there's any watchers on it. There's nothing like that. It's not getting too many hits. So like, why not just bid the $750 instead and maybe get it for $3-4 instead? I don't know. It's very strange to me.
Yeah.
Because like the only thing and I searched. There's a couple of Drill Sergeant. That's the character. Drill Sergeant pieces, but no drill. So that's why I'm like, is this like a fucking rarity? I don't know.
You trying to complete the piece? I don't know.
Might be.
The only one I see with a drill is a full piece for like $60. I'm like, okay, I know it's not worth a fucking mint here, but it's very interesting.
Only thing I think it could be is him just making sure he gets it.
Yeah.
No matter what.
Jason and Will Warriors was one of those weird toy lines where the toys came out almost a year and a half before the cartoon came out. So the backstory for the cartoon was totally different than we got in the toy lines. The toy line, it was just simple military, not even military, just bland looking drivers in those figures. And then when the cartoon came out, they really went into the backstory of with the villains and the flora and fauna that they came from. Soul Boss looked great. He didn't look like that in the toy at all.
It was very, very different. And what's even funny? I searched on like Facebook. They got Facebook groups for almost everything, and like there's Joe groups, there's Transformers groups with thousands upon thousands of members. Yeah. I searched Jason the Wheel Warriors. I found one fan group which was talking about like the toys and the cartoons, and there was like 6 people in there, and then there was a sales group with literally 16 people. So like one of the guys is definitely this guy. It gotta be.
Has to be. Yeah, has to be.
Gotta be.
So like I couldn't even gauge nothing else. Like, geez. There we go.
Like I would have loved for Crystar to come back. I don't know if you guys remember Crystar. Yeah, man. Crystar was
I don't remember that one.
Semi-translucent crystal Dungeons and Dragons looking figure. It came out in Marvel It came out as a Marvel property, and they went to Remco. And I remember going to one of these odd lot, job lot, stores, and I got the castle and 10 figures for like, I think $20, man. And I was happy. Oh my God. They were definitely 4 inches. That castle now, which was just thermoform plastic with some cardboard levels, is now going for like a couple $100, man, on eBay.
Wow.
And I'm just like, and it was shitty as fuck.
Do you remember, while we're on the subject, sorry, Juwaan.
No.
The old guys are on a tear. Do you remember it was something like Mask. It was motorized. These little vehicles would transform. Started with a C. Computron.
No, oh my God. That was a toy company that came from NASA.
Really?
Yeah. That they had magnetic feet.
Yes. Yeah, that's the one.
Yes. Oh my God. I don't remember. They were the size like this. They were figures like this.
The figures were even smaller than that, actually. They were like finger size.
But they were the toy company had consultants from NASA help them with the building of the ships and the loading vehicles, and I don't fucking remember the goddamn name.
That's dope. I guess I'll have to ask our resident ninja rocket scientist, Chris Craddock, in the basement group. He might remember.
Yeah.
Huh, cool. All right. Sorry about that, Juwaan.
No. You're completely fine.
Man, I could talk toys, baby. We could talk toys all fucking day, kid. Like, tying into the Shang-Chi. Has anybody gone into the fucking Targets and noticed that the Shang-Chi figures have their heads popped off?
No.
I've gone to a couple Targets and Walmarts. So you got the Marvel Legend ones, right? And you got the other ones that have the action features.
Right.
And the ones that have the action features are displayed in the box, like they're zip tied to the box.
Sticking out.
You can touch, you can move their arms, you can move their head, and the heads are popped off.
I don't know what serial killer is running around these Targets and Walmarts. But, what
are the customizers doing out there? Do they want them that bad?
I don't know, but I do know that is a very, very, very big sign of a serial killer. It's just random. Why are you popping off heads? Like, my little cousin used to do that with his action figures. And I used to always say, I can't babysit him. It's a good chance he'll try to kill me. I don't trust that kid.
Is it a form of anti-Asian hate, and they don't want the toys to sell?
It's either anti-Asian hate from white people or anti-Asian hate from other Asians, because apparently he's an ugly Asian.
Yeah, I saw that, and I was just like,
I don't know.
Yeah.
My man was looking. He was looking fucking sharp on the red carpet with his burgundy suit.
Yeah.
Oh,
here's my thing. Here's my thing.
Motherfucker, I tell you.
I notice people that call other people ugly are usually the most ugliest people.
Yes.
And it's just like I really don't understand what leg you have to stay. That'd be like if I just went and went, you know what? Michael B. Jordan is the ugliest dude. Half the women in the world would go, You want to be the one saying that? I don't think you should be the one saying that. Like Michael B. Jordan can say that about somebody else, but you shouldn't.
That's why I tell everybody they're sexy, because I'm a fucking beast, baby. Yeah. Oh.
I love it. But no, you psychos, stay out of Target and Walmart. You psychopaths.
Yeah.
All I picked up, my big stuff is coming Friday. My Captain Marvel in Rescue, and my Happy Hogan in gold Iron Man armor, whatever the hell that is. I don't know. But all I got this week is my second favorite Star Wars character of all time, Mr. Mac Daddy Kylo Ren himself.
Nice.
Oh.
Love it. This is based off of The Last Jedi. You can tell because once I put this on and then bring him a little closer, you can see the scar that Rey gave him.
Well, shouldn't his helmet be cracked too?
No. This is this helmet takes place before the moment in the throne room when Snoke made him feel like shit and then he broke it. This is legal.
I like that. Maybe you can help me define or figure out where these are from, because I got them from thrifting also. Kylo and Rey.
Oh,
right?
see,
that's a cloth cape, no mask. I don't know if he came with a mask or not.
No, my issue is, Jaydee, they don't sell that together. They don't sell the mask with the hood. They sell him with the mask
or the hood.
Yeah, they don't sell it together. It's the weirdest thing, but they don't.
That's not stupid. Wow.
I agree. This one came with the throne room floor. He was kneeling on, and it comes with a cloth cape, no hood. But again, if you watch The Last Jedi, he doesn't wear the hood in that.
No, he doesn't. Not after the fact.
Right, but he's hoodless, and then he becomes maskless.
What series is this? Are these Black Series figures or not?
No, not Black Series.
What are Black Series?
No, not Black. Oh. It's the specific series that Star Wars does its figures. No. It's literally just it's the brand name for their posable figures. Those aren't Black Series. I had the Black Series for Rey and Kylo. That's not Black Series.
Because that Kylo is on point, kid.
That Kylo looks great. I like this because he comes out of his little robe. Looks great. Looks really, really, really awesome. Has a little spot for his lightsaber right there, if you guys can see.
I would like the Rise of Skywalker version, the crack helmet.
I would love that. I would love that. You know what? You know what I also hate, Joel? They released one Knights of Ren.
I'm about to say that's a one.
Just one. He has a whole team. Why not just release the team? I don't
understand why they didn't make them more popular.
Because it was a dead concept.
It was. Rian Johnson had no interest in the Knights of Ren.
They look so cool.
I agree. And then what made it even worse, so we're not going to go on the tangent here, but what made it even worse, Joel, is J.J. Abrams stated in, not J.J. Abrams, I'm sorry, the comic book that came out around Force Awakens of Kylo Ren says that the Knights of Ren are made up of other Jedi he brought with him at Luke's training academy. When Kylo ran through them at the end of Rise of Skywalker, you had no semblance of these people ever knowing the Force.
Right.
And it's just like I
don't remember how they were explaining in the comic. I do have the comic, but like when he joined them, they're already formed. And the main dude looked cool.
No, time out. Remember, that team wasn't assembled. He went to an actual like you're saying, there was an actual team. But remember, he killed them all and then assembled his Knights of Ren.
Reassembled.
Yes, reassembled. But he was never part of that original team.
Frankenstein assembled, or what do you mean?
No, like re-recruited.
Yes,
re-recruited.
Right.
Okay.
There was an actual Knights of Ren.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was cool looking. I forget his name. He was all burnt. His whole fucking upper body's like charcoal.
Yeah.
Like it's because his body was burnt.
And I remember that was Snoke telling him like, hey, if you want to be the man that you want, you gotta kill them. You gotta kill everybody. And he was just like, okay. And then I remember it because it's my favorite Star Wars thing ever that we'll never see in live action. He took his lightsaber that he got from Luke and he had to bleed it. And once he bled the crystal, that's how he put it inside the lightsaber that was an unhinged lightsaber, and that's why it comes through the sides. So that was really interesting, that whole rise of Kylo, that the whole
wait. Roll this back a second.
Mm-hmm.
This lightsaber was the red lightsaber?
No. Kylo had his own green lightsaber that he got from, not the one that Luke passed down. Like Luke just gave them a lightsaber.
It's specific.
Right. And then he bled it. He had to bleed the crystal to turn it red. You have to bleed your crystals to turn them red. Which is the dopest thing that I don't know why they don't show that in live action. It's literally the coolest thing ever.
And his has a weird jagged feel to it, like it's unhinged.
Yes. Because it's made out of all his anger. All his anger goes into that lightsaber and it just makes it unstable. So it has to come out.
Kylo Ren is a cool character. I like that. His visually, that's why when he broke the mask in Last Jedi, I was disappointed. I'm like,
and then you see J.J. Abrams just say, forget all that. The first, like, one of the first 6 scenes is him reconstructing it with the Knights of Ren behind him.
Fucking loved it. Yeah, it's back.
All right, so let's go. You was gonna say something, JD?
Yeah, that was stupid. I'm sorry.
Oh, when he broke it or when he put it back together?
All of it, the whole concept of it.
Well, he broke it because Snoke essentially just told him like you're a fake Vader. So it was essentially him trying to come out of being Vader to be his own man.
He broke it because fucking Rian Johnson said, "Why are we paying an actor all this money and we're not even going to show his face?"
That's a good point, but still.
See, that's a shame on Disney because I don't know if many people knew Adam Driver before Star Wars. I didn't know Adam Driver before Star Wars. So if you were paying him all that money, that's your fault. That's your fault. I'm glad you signed him on, but to me, it's one of those things where it's like he's not Darth Vader. So I never complained when he didn't have the mask on all the time. I didn't need you to have the mask on all the time.
I did.
Wait, so you wanted him to never take it off?
I mean, I didn't need him to take it. I don't mind that he did, like especially for all the scenes that he had to, but I preferred it on more than off for me.
Right. The the selling point, bro.
Yeah.
The mask
Some of
was
them
the selling
look
point of the whole franchise, right?
It's
Maul's
what made
face
him
was the
Vader.
selling point
Yeah.
of the prequels.
Yeah.
Fucking
But everything else was a copy.
Vader.
That's
And
You know what I would compare it to? I would say that the main reason why I preferred him in The Mask, yes, it did look cool. Won't argue that. It's the same reason with Titans this season. I like how Jason sounds in The Mask more than I do out of The Mask. I hate his voice out of The Mask.
It sounds whiny.
So, exactly. So when you hear Kylo in The Mask, it's like, oh, that sounds so cool. Then he takes it off, and you're just like, oh, you gotta put that back on. You have to put that back on.
They could have played him as a Dr. Doom or a Man in the Iron Mask type character. You know, he's got that scar on his face, but it's nothing. It's a bullshit scar, and he got it from fighting his Uncle Luke when his Uncle Luke tried to kill him. You know what I mean? But it's that scar that Snoke played upon and used that as his way of turning him into the dark side. And you know, that could have been the catalyst. And he feels that because it's such a big thing and of who he is now, that's why he had to keep it covered.
Well, remember, the only reason he did The Mask was as an homage to his grandfather.
Right.
So the reason why they made sure he didn't always have it on is to show the difference of Darth Vader to Kylo Ren. Like Kylo
Vader needed it to survive, though. You know?
No, that's what I'm saying. So if you kept it on, people would have thought like, well, do you need to have it on? It's like, well, no, he just likes to have it on. It's like, well, that's a little weird.
Who likes to sweat that much?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Bro, I mean, all you got to do is pick it on and off. What was the whole fucking G.I. Joe, Snake Eyes? You know?
No, to be fair, it only did. I don't understand why it did it, but it only did it here, where the mouthpiece came up and then he could take it off. I don't know why Rian Johnson made it like that. Because in The Force Awakens, he just did this.
Yeah.
Took it off. And then in Rian Johnson's, he had it enhanced to where he had to hit a button and it opened and then he could take it off. Weird as shit. But no, I had, this was actually a birthday gift from my mom. She knows how much I love Kylo Ren. I was actually talking to her saying how, you know how like the most iconic Star Wars scene is Vader cutting off Luke's hand and then that whole I am your father, whatever. To me, only to me, the most iconic is that moment between Kylo and Han in The Force Awakens because of the visuals of it. When the sun disappeared and it was completely dark and all you see is the shadow of the red lightsaber, showing you his emergence to the dark side, and then that's how you know like, ah, shit, he's about to kill Han. But I love that moment between the two of them. That moment always stands out to me when I think Star Wars, because Han took what he was saying differently than what he meant, where he said, you know, I'm confused, you know, I don't know how to make that next step. And Han was just like, I got you, no problem. Like, come here. And then he was just like, no. I mean, I don't know how to step into the darkness, but now I do. I just have to kill you. So to me, all that was just, it was awesome to end that movie, you know, right up until Rey just magically got the Force and it was just like, oh, okay.
With the little dagger that you had. I want to know what Pete is shopping for right now.
I'm not shopping, actually. I had this weird fucking thing popping up on my computer screen and I had to get rid of it. It wasn't porn, actually. It was this annoying ass program called Nomad that I would quit and it would just put right back up. And I'm like, okay, I'm not tolerating that shit.
Pete, do you want to know how sick I am? I did think you were looking at porn, so I was trying to look in your eyes to the reflection. Like,
I would tell you if I was looking at porn, man. I'm
like, what is he watching? Let me see if I can Google that. But all right.
No, I literally just got fucking rid of it. This thing was just so fucking annoying. It was just kept popping up, and it was really annoying the shit out of me.
Oh, before we get into our FanDome conversation, Joel, shouts out to you. I saw the end credit scene for The Long Halloween Part 2. Oh my god! Like, oh my god! What?
Wait, I saw two. Refresh spoilers. Refresh my memory.
Yeah, it was just Alfred answering the door, and it was Flash and Green Arrow at the door.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
To recruit Bruce.
Yeah. Well, basically that confirmed that it's part of the same universe. As,
right, as Superman, Man of Tomorrow, or
and JSA.
Right. So they're rebuilding the Justice League universe. So when we saw that Apocalypse War, whatever that Justice League, whatever that was, when Flash ran back in time, this is now the new
universe. Yes.
Yes, the new universe. Yeah. So I was just glad because the first thing me and Joel said after we saw the first one was Jensen was an amazing Batman. We were just hoping that wasn't a one-off. Like, you know, is it part of something where we could see more?
Right.
My question now is, because you know their focus is on more Batman movies, Batman and Superman. So now the question is, where do you go with Batman? Long Halloween was something they never did in animation.
Right.
They've literally done every other major Batman story in animation. So it's now, where do you go?
You gotta get creative.
Yeah. But see, here's the problem. Last time they got creative, Joel, everyone shitted on them, where they changed when they changed who Hush was. So
yeah, well, that was a terrible story.
Wait, you didn't like it either?
No, it was fucking awful.
I didn't even watch it.
I didn't miss anything.
Hold on, Pete. Why didn't you? And the only reason why I want to ask is, me and Joel. This is the only thing me and Joel kind of trickled down to is, if you didn't like the script, you didn't like the script. That's fine. But when people say they didn't like the reveal, me and Joel always harken back to, but you know, it's who Hush is. The only other thing you could do is make something creative out of a story we already know.
Who was Hush this time?
The Riddler.
The Riddler. So it was the great
See,
Riddler.
That's the reaction. That's the proper reaction.
Okay.
I mean, look,
no one saw it coming because if you know, it's not a they wanted to keep it a mystery. That's the problem. And so to keep it a mystery, you had to change who Hush was. Or else, as soon as the moment you see Tommy Elliott, you know who it is.
Right.
I mean, fans.
Yeah, and I was waiting for that reveal. I like fucking melodrama like that.
But the way they set the story up, that character was never really important in that story for that movie. So it was setting up for you to know that it couldn't be him. Because you literally saw him twice. You saw him when he fixed Bruce and then when he died. So that would have made no sense if we got to the end of that movie and it was him.
I'm going to be honest with you. It didn't make a whole lot of sense in the comics. Who the fuck was Tommy Elliott? He was introduced for that story. And then all of a sudden, oh, well, the new guy's the bad guy. Big fucking surprise there. But nonetheless, I despise it when fucking hack writers decide that they're going to be creative. And as a creative, I can tell you creatives are assholes. That just stop. It's fucking written for you. Just do what's there. It's like fucking trying to figure out an IKEA instruction and skipping a few pages because you don't like the drawings.
I will say this.
You're not getting a desk out of that, I'll tell you right now.
I will say
the IKEA instructions?
I never follow instructions. I just build it.
Can I tell you this? Okay, on that subject, real quick note. It's important to look through all the IKEA instructions before you begin because when you start, it's just you, like building one of these glass cases behind me. And then when you get to step 4 and you're holding 3 pieces of glass like this, because they're not secured at the top, and you're trying to get that 4th one in, and all of a sudden the illustration now shows you and a partner. So I'm literally holding the glass case and I'm like, Siri, call dad. And I'm fucking calling my father from down in the basement. And I'm fucking holding these literally like with a foot and 2 hands like wrapped around this shit. And I was like, Dad, I need you to come down in the basement and give me a hand. Seriously. He's like, all right, I'll be down right after the Yankees get. I was like, time is of the essence here.
I'd really need you right.
Yeah. Pause the game.
No, I mean, to your point, Pete, I'll just say 2 things and then we're going to get into our topics. One, we are good friends with the writer of that. That's one. 2, no, I mean, look, I understand where you're coming from. Look, I told you before, that's part of my issue with Kevin in the MCU is nothing is a direct adaptation of literally anything. It's variables of different comics blended together. Infuriates me because I'm like, oh, you're doing this. I'm like, okay, let's do it. And then it's like, no, we're doing a mix of things. Civil War, I didn't get upset because they didn't have the rights to a lot of characters. So I was
but at the same time, they couldn't do Civil War the way they could. The main agenda of Civil War was all based on secret identity, and you're doing Civil War, and no one has a secret identity.
Right.
It was like it's not. I knew right away it was going to be very different. That's why I never thought it would actually get done. but they had to change the story. They still use the same concept, but they changed the reasoning and all this extra shit.
Right. I mean, when I saw that they were doing Extremis for Iron Man 3, I was just like, well, I know the Extremis storyline. It was not even anything of that movie was the Extremis storyline, except for him having Extremis.
That's Iron Man 3 is a really piss poor example of a comparison. Yeah. I mean, that's a terrible movie.
It is a bad movie. I was just saying, knowing the Extremis comics, I was just like, oh, I know what they could do. And they just didn't. But look,
let's roll it back to the guy who wrote Hush, the movie.
Oh, Ernie Elbacker.
We've talked to him. Yes.
Yeah, you talked to him. All right.
He's a friend on Facebook.
Call Ernie. You're like, yo, Ernie, it was garbage, bro.
No, actually, we had one of our writers, AJ, who expressed exactly what the both of you are expressing. And I got a message from Ernie that was just like, damn, Juwaan. And I was just like, Ernie, I did not write that. I enjoyed it. That was one of our writers. I can't tell him he can't feel a certain way.
You get notes, and there's certain things you got to do with your notes. They're the ones paying you, the ones that are giving you the notes.
To be fair, AJ doesn't like any of those movies.
That is to be fair. AJ does not like any of those movies. But I will also say,
okay, DC animated shit is fucking dope. Like, come on.
Exactly, I agree.
He doesn't like the animation. I don't know. He's picky.
He's weird. But I will say the movie Hush itself, outside of the big reveal, which is what everyone was fussing about, it didn't really change all that much.
No, that's the point. The rest of the movie was great. Yeah. It's just the reveal that I didn't like.
It was just that.
Yeah.
He even had the Jim Lee costume at the end of that movie.
Everything was perfect. Right up until there, where it was like...
So hold on. So you're saying Hush wasn't a bad movie. If they gave you Thomas Elliott, you're saying it would have been perfect.
Perfect.
So then you did like it. You just didn't like the reveal.
But that made me not like the whole thing. That's like, wait a minute. That's like cutting into fucking raviolis. Like, I love raviolis. I love the smell of raviolis. And I cut in, and there's not mozzarella in there. And instead there's, I don't know, foot fungus. That would make me not like the whole dish of raviolis. You understand?
Extreme, but okay.
Oh, man. That was the extreme, but okay.
I had to come up with something right off the top of my head, and I'm not wearing socks right now. So there you go.
I guess that did go hand in hand.
I don't have foot fungus, though. I can put my foot right up here if y'all want to see.
All right, let's get into our main topics. FanDome gave us a trailer for the event that's coming in October. They're bringing the Batman, the Flash, Aquaman, Shazam 2, Black Adam, Titan, Stargirl, pretty much the whole shebang. I can continue to go. Batgirl, they're bringing everything. So I want to start off before we get into our thoughts on what we're most excited for heading into FanDome. I do want to ask this because I know a lot of people are under the mindset of, well, we know some people will probably be bringing trailers. Some may just be bringing what some of the suits look like, official photos. So my question is, and Pete, I want to start off with you. Should FanDome swing for the fences, knowing that all the Disney investors meeting has to do is two things, and one of them is actually rumored. One of the rumored things, not Feige, but they'll be announcing at the investors meeting, Kathleen Kennedy, is the possibility of a Luke Skywalker series for Disney Plus, right? You announced that. Half the world is just good on that, right? Then you go into Feige announcing, maybe more about Secret Invasion.
Literally anything MCU.
Right. Let alone if this man gives us the cast of Fantastic. I'm not saying he is. I'm just the extreme. If he gives us the cast of the Fantastic Four, I do believe that's enough to overshadow whatever happens at FanDome.
Absolutely.
Then what's the question?
My question is, should FanDome just swing for if you have footage?
But if it doesn't matter what FanDome does, it will never top the cast of the Fantastic Four. Here's why they?
Here's why I think it would. If you give us that trailer of The Flash with Michael Keaton's Batman in it, I do think that's huge. That's huge. That's what I'm saying. That's huge.
You don't even, first of all, to properly answer your question, there's no reason that they shouldn't. I'm not saying they will, because half the time they don't. And it's not like, it's not like DC can't overshadow Marvel. It's just for whatever reason that they don't. And you're absolutely right. if they don't even have to show a trailer, you give somebody 15 seconds of an encounter with Michael Keaton's Batman and the Flash, and people will go friggin' wild for that. Like, give the people what they want to see. Like, they had a few seconds. I saw a very brief trailer for FanDome, and I saw like the Batman stuff with Robert Pattinson. It looks cool. I watched like people would talk about they were in a pre-screening or whatever, and the initial movie was like 3 hours, and I'm like, I'll watch a damn Blu-ray uncut if Justice League is any indication, which I love the Snyder cut, and I did not think I would. But I'm man enough to admit when I'm wrong, and I love that. I would love a 3-hour Batman movie if it's good, especially Batman where he's being a detective instead of just a damn superhero fighting aliens. No, not to knock the Snyder cut because it was good, but I like Batman being a street level dude.
We get it.
Yeah, we 100% get it. That was not how Batman should have been used.
Right.
The way Snyder used them.
Like, I compare it honestly, like DC's Ford and Marvel is Chevy, and I'm a Ford guy. I always have been. I'm a Mustang guy. But it's like whenever Ford comes out with something cool, it's like, here you go. Here's a 450 horsepower Mustang with a 5.0 again. You haven't seen that in a while. And then Chevy's like, hold my beer. Here's a 650 horsepower Camaro. Right. And it's like, damn, man, you could have did that shit too.
Yeah. I mean, I look at it like this, Pete. I look at it like this. To me, it's one of those things to where it's like, we say this all the time. You're not working off good, like you don't have good credit if you're Warner with DC, right? So the idea is if you can go get your own Netflix and your own Hulu and buy that yourself to establish good credit, do it. So
Bring
it's
back
like,
the fans.
Right. So it's like, all right, Shazam 2 just finished filming, right? So you're telling me, even though that movie doesn't come out for what, Joel, a year and a half or almost 2 years?
It'll come out to 2023.
2023. My thing is, if you have footage, show it. It's okay. It's 100% okay. Show it. Flash, whatever you do have. I'm not saying I need a 2-minute, 33-second trailer. If it's a 55-second trailer, show it. All I'm saying is,
how about, is there any footage do we know like of The Rock as Black Adam? Is any part of that movie?
I tell you this, if that doesn't have a trailer, it's a waste. Because here's the thing, you can't do essentially what you did last year, which was just show us concepts.
Right.
You're done filming. Give me a trailer.
They did film the shit? It's done?
It's done. Yeah, it's been done for a while, yeah.
Well, not a while. It's been like a month.
Yeah, like
a month? I thought it's been like 2 months. That's why I said a while.
Still, I wouldn't like to hold my breath that long. That's a while.
Right. So to me, it's just one of those things. And again, this is not supposed to be like a measuring stick. It's just the idea of if you have it in the clip, unload it. There's just really no need to sit on it.
Yes, I am a screwball. I know. That's that peanut butter shit, Jay.
I love it. I fucking
remember that shit. That was good.
I'll even say this, and I'm gonna pass it to you, Joel. There was a rumor that Batgirl is supposed to start filming in Glasgow or something like that. I think that in October. So that means if you're looking to film in October, that means by that time, by FanDome, she would have already had a fitting of the suit. Show me her in the suit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Even behind the scenes shit. I'd like to see The Rock in the suit. We still haven't seen that yet.
Give me an idea of what the hell this movie's about. What is this movie even about?
And not for nothing, just a final point, sorry, before Joel goes. I don't know if I'm the only one absolutely loving Stargirl. I think it's a fantastic show. I would like to see that move to like the CW proper. Like, give me a 24 episode season instead of this little like 10 to 13 episode thing. Like it's still running around the CW app.
I don't know. I think I like it shortened. I think that's how you keep the true essence of Stargirl. Yeah. I think
I don't know, man. Like
here's why I don't want 20 plus. Here's why I don't want it longer. Is because then there's like, well, shit, what do we do to fill it? All right, let's give her some high school drama. Let's give
budget it too.
I don't want all that.
Save some of that money. Yeah. Use the money wisely. 13 episodes, you can use it and the shit looks at least decent.
Right.
That's a valid point.
You start worrying.
Oh, I'm sorry, Joe.
No, I'm just saying, like with Flash, it's like 20 plus episodes, but then you get certain weird episodes where shit doesn't look.
That's just a terrible show now. I'm watching it out of sheer loyalty and just be.
At this
Like,
point.
I just have to see what happens, and I'll be really disappointed if that show ends and he doesn't do the infinite mass punch once. Damn it, once.
Yeah, and you got to give him the boots. He still doesn't have the boots.
I haven't even realized he doesn't have the boots yet.
Yeah, doesn't have the boots.
I was only bitching about it because they said he would.
Got the lightning sabers though, right?
Oh yeah, we got those though.
They're not there yet, but he will be.
Yeah, the director will have to definitely explain it. I don't know if he has, but I don't know where that came from.
It was a fun episode to that point, and even then, I'm like, okay, whatever, fuck it. It's almost.
I mean, I didn't hate it. It just caught me so off guard. I'm just like, wait a minute, what?
It's so weird. It was weird.
I swear, Barry comes up with powers randomly. That's just like, you telling me you couldn't use that all season? That you just randomly just struck that?
Yep. They all did though. All three of them.
Yeah, they all were just like, hey, lightsaber. And they were just like, whoa, I could do that.
It wasn't even that. It was the awful ass, I got faster, didn't you? Motherfucker, you've been running around slower than shit all damn season. You got the audacity to say that shit?
Time out, Pete. He says that after needing Reverse Flash's help because he wasn't fast enough to do
it. So you've been, faking it this whole time? You've been faking your orgasms? What's up?
Anyway, Joel, so my question to you is, A, what are you looking for? And Pete, I'm going to come back around to you for this also. But A, what are you looking forward to the most out of FanDome? And B, do you think they really should just go all out? If you have footage, put it out. Like, don't hold on to anything. There's just no need to.
Yeah, I guess if that's what you mean, like go all out. Like if you have footage, show footage. Yeah, I would say yes, do that. I don't know why you would hold back at this point. Because there's nothing I'm not looking forward to. I'm a huge DC fan, so there's literally nothing that's coming out that I'm not looking forward to. Right. I could say that with 100% honesty. I look forward to everything.
I mean, shit, even Peacemaker. Like I'm looking forward to the Peacemaker show. So it's like if you have footage on that, actually, they will be dropping a show because it comes out in January.
Yeah, and they had a poster today too.
Right. Yes. Yep. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to everything. Peacemaker. If they have the next season of Titans, if they have information on that by then, Doom Patrol, anything. Obviously, I want to see a Batman trailer. That's gonna kill. First of all. Yes. Going to kill. The next Batman. The last one killed, so this one's gonna kill. But I can't wait for the Black Adam trailer because I can't wait to see that JSA. I know there's only 4 of them, but I'm super excited to see what the Hawkman looks like and Dr. Fate and all that shit. So as excited as I am to see Black Adam, like The Rock as Black Adam, I'm more excited to see Hawkman and Dr. Fate. The Flash, obviously, that movie has so many question marks up and down, left to right, that I can't wait to see what his new Flash costume looks like. I can't wait to see Keaton in the costume again and just say, motherfucker, I can't wait for that. I can't wait for anything Aquaman. I know I don't think we'll get a trailer for Aquaman, but we'll probably get some behind the scenes and maybe a picture or two and some information. I'll be fine with that. Shazam, because it's already done filming, I would hope we get at least a teaser. I know it takes like another year and a half before it comes out, or 2 years probably at this point, but still, they got enough there. They should give us something. Last year we got the name and we got like a picture. Right. This year we already know what the costumes like. We should get at least a mini teaser, even if it takes us another year and a half to get to the movie. Right. And there's obviously movies they're going to probably announce there that hasn't come out yet. Like you said, the Batgirl movie coming out, which is filming in the same place as they filmed the Batman, I believe, which is pretty interesting. Yep. Same Gotham, at least aesthetically. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I would love to see if they have a costume for her. Give me that. If they have anything with what Blue Beetle looks like, give me that. Anything and everything that we've heard. Like I have a list here of like what they said is possibly coming. Anything Green Lantern, I'll take. GCPD. Anything Justice League Dark. So if they have a whole thing with that, Constantine. I know they mentioned Zatanna, Madame Xanadu. They even fucking got a movie announcement. Give me it all of it. Yeah,
I'm just like I said. I'm just of the mindset of if you have it, it's just good publicity. That's all I'm saying. Like take comparing the investors meeting and this, take that out. Yeah. It's just good publicity. And they even for the poster of FanDome, they have what I assume maybe is going to be Batgirl's look. If you zoom in on it, it looks like that might be what her.
It also looks like her. That looks like the video game costume, though.
Oh, you mean from Gotham Knights?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Then okay, yeah.
I mean, it could be the.
No, I mean it could be what you're saying because the Gotham Knights will be there.
Yes.
So it
I can't wait for that. And Suicide Squad. They both look great. I can't wait for that.
Yep, 100%. Yeah, get news on the Suicide Squad kills the Justice League for sure.
Yeah.
But
Justice, God damn it, I love that show.
Yes. So, but yeah, to me, it's just one of those things where it's like, I want information on the Green Lantern show.
Hell yeah. Give me information on the Green Lantern movie.
Shit. Like it's happening. I would like that.
Yeah.
Like,
that thing. You can't leave John Stewart and Hal Jordan out of a Green Lantern show unless you're holding them back for a movie.
I mean, well, we asked, what's his name? We asked, what's his name that's in charge of the DC animated movies?
I know you're talking about, yeah.
You know what I'm talking about. James Tucker. We asked him, we're like, bro, how come y'all don't do more animated stuff for other characters like Green Lantern, Flash? And he's just like, we have to wait. Everyone else calls dibs. He's like, Lego had dibs. We couldn't do it because Lego did it. Live action was doing it. They were just telling us we're not putting it everywhere. So I'm like, well, shit, if we don't have a Green Lantern movie soon, give us animated movie, give us cartoons. It's like, we love Green Lantern, and they just refuse to give them. And it's just like, I don't understand why.
They gave them, and they shit.
I'm talking about that movie. That didn't count.
Yes, but that doesn't
bring it up, and then that's why they won't talk about it anymore.
Think about this.
Back to that movie.
The first Daredevil movie, a lot of people think was the worst thing ever. Could you picture if they just decided no more Daredevil? What? You can't do that.
Fox never won back to them.
They did, and before we got the TV show, we almost got a Daredevil movie based in the 70s.
Yeah, that was crazy.
I'm just saying you shouldn't go off of, we made a mistake once, we could never go back to it.
I understand that. I agree with that. Look at the Hulk. We had two shitty fucking movies with the Hulk, and we still look forward to him.
What was the second bad movie?
Whoa,
Are you fucking kidding me?
What was it? I know you're not talking Edward Norton's Hulk.
Rumble in the Bronx, Vancouver.
Come on, that one.
That was a good movie.
Come on,
I enjoyed that.
Man. Come on, stop.
I don't understand you, Jaydee. I don't think you could have gotten any better for a Hulk movie. I don't know. It literally had everything.
The Hulk was on the fucking deal meal plan. His fucking body was so svelte.
Yeah.
Come on, dude.
He was very ripped. Yes.
But wait,
bro.
But wait, is that your issue? Is that he was
not just that? Look at the Abomination. He looked shitty.
He did look shitty, but now
look at how they dropped the ball with Mr. Blue or the fucking leader or whatever.
The leader that they never got to do. Yeah.
Well, remember, that was supposed to just be a tease. It was supposed to just be a tease. That's all he was. It was the birth of the character that was supposed to trickle down somewhere.
Yeah, it was the birth of not being able to do another fucking Hulk movie again. That's what it was, the birth of.
I don't know.
I liked that one.
I don't know.
The other one was absolute trash.
The first one was 100% garbage.
I'll agree with you.
Yeah, that was just like, I don't know what the hell Ang Lee was thinking.
I'll agree with you, but
I'm a
and to make him that green was just like, Ang Lee, what are you doing?
My problem with that movie was more that I didn't like that he got bigger. I'm like, I don't remember that being a thing. What do you mean he got bigger? 15 feet tall at the end of that movie.
Only good part of that movie was the dog scene, which was like straight out of the comics at the time.
Punch the dogs in the balls.
That was good. Joel says he didn't mind it. I also hated him jumping. What did he do? Jump from like Mexico to like San Francisco?
But that's canon. He can do that.
No, he can do that. I just visually didn't like how they portrayed it. I hated that.
That was my favorite part of the movie, was the desert scene.
He lifted the tank turret and he caught his balls.
That was good with the desert. I forgot himself. He hit himself in the balls or something with the tank. I don't remember that.
Yeah. He stood over the tank turret, and when he lifted it up, he clipped his sack. Because the pipe of the turret, whatever, was it went through his legs.
Oh, so it was just bad CGI.
No, it was intentional CGI.
I don't remember that, and I'm probably not gonna remember it.
Yeah, I mean, look, I don't blame anybody that said
it was a trash movie.
That movie, but I was gonna agree with you, Jaydee, on The Incredible Hulk. That movie was awesome.
Best part of that movie for me was and this reminded me of like right out of the cartoon, the old Saturday morning shit, was when they used the sonic weapons on him and he was, you know, like stumbling all around. In the cartoon, I remember distinctly, he's like, Hulk, make more noise, and he yelled at it and it fucking broke. And this one, but I still, man, the Hulk belt clap is just a really classic maneuver.
With you, Pete. I loved it because they adapted it into the game. I love taking the cop car and making like gauntlets out of them. Abomination.
No, that game was really fun.
The one for the GameCube, right? The one.
Yes. Yep.
I really like that version, dude.
I agree. I thought that was really well done. But yeah, I mean, to me, there was a lot of that movie that was really good. And it's that movie is why I don't like where Feige took Incredible Hulk, because it's like, wait, he went from that to where he is now, and it's just like something's off here. Something's 100% off.
They don't have it. It's still Universal, and they're gonna play the character because they're not making movies. They're gonna play the character out to his third arc, and I don't want to potentially sabotage it, but kill his storyline so that way Universal can't fucking trade on it the way Sony keeps trading on Spider-Man.
Yeah, that's fair, because I tell you what, they made him a beast in that Universal Incredible Hulk movie. And then we saw a little bit of it in that Avengers movie. And then consistently from there, it was just...
my favorite version of the Hulk was
to me what I just said, what made sense, because I got a nice buzz going. I don't even know what the fuck I said.
Wait, hold on, Joel. What were you saying? You're what?
My favorite Hulk is the Ragnarok Hulk. It's the closest to the Hulk I remember.
I like that one, yeah.
Because he was not too smart, not too stupid. He was right in the middle somewhere, and he was badass. I love Ragnarok Hulk was my favorite Hulk.
Fair?
I got you.
Yeah.
I'm with that.
Until he had to be, and I thought it was funny. And then Jaydee, I'm gonna go to you for FanDome. I thought it was funny Feige's explanation of the beginning of Infinity War, and his explanation pretty much was, well, you have a whole audience who doesn't know who Thanos is. They don't understand the level of villain he is. So you have to showcase him beating someone's ass that the viewers know is supposed to be the strongest. So they look at it and go, whoa, if he could do that to the Hulk, the Avengers are in trouble.
Sacrificed the Hulk character to show off Thanos. And look, in my opinion, he never really got his revenge.
No.
Because they made him a Professor Hulk in the next movie. But I loved seeing Professor Hulk because it's like another thing I never thought I'd see.
Yeah, I'll say this, Joel. I think I would have been more receptive to that if at least you gave me when he's fighting the Black Order at the end of Infinity War, he exploded out of the suit into Hulk and was just wrecking them. And then I would have said, you know what? Whatever you want to do going forward, I can accept it. But to know that he went out on his back and then turned into my brother, you know, let's do peace here. You know what I'm saying? It was just like, oh, disgusting. I did not, even when they were playing with it, where in Endgame he rips off his shirt and tries to act like the Brute.
It's funny. I love that.
Like,
I did love that.
Like, damn. Joel, before I go to Jaydee, I'm sorry. What are you most looking forward to? Is it Black Adam to see the?
It is everything. I told you.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
I mean, I don't know how do I maybe Black Adam in that. Obviously the Batman. It's hard for me not to say the Batman. Yeah, I mean, around the Flash, all the next 3 movies.
Legit, right?
Yeah.
I mean, to me, the biggest thing to me is the Flash, because that's the only thing I have questions about. Everything else is pretty straightforward.
I doubt we're gonna get all answers, but I definitely want to see some new. I'm a big costume guy. I love new costumes, and I can't wait to see the new designs.
I just want to tease at what the villain is, because if it is what's being rumored, you're gonna have to put a whole bunch of good stuff around it for me to accept that. But you know, because to me, I told you, Joel, once you said you're taking elements of Flashpoint, just elements. I get it's not a direct adaptation. You're taking elements, and then your very next words weren't Reverse Flash has been casted as blah blah blah. It put me off. I'm like, well, the whole point of going back in time.
That's why they said elements. So until we know the whole story, You know,
That's true. But I mean, even like you said, Civil War was an adaptation, but at its core, it was accurate to the purpose of the comic. So I'm like, the whole purpose of Flashpoint, even if you're taking elements, was because he killed his mom.
well, that's the thing. If that's a part of the story, then yes, then you have an argument. If they don't use the whole mom death thing, then we know that she's been casted in the movie.
Right. You know what, Joel? I think the biggest reason why I'm holding on to that so much is we know his dad is in prison because they think he killed his mom. So
Right.
I'm like, well, the whole point of Flashpoint was like the idea of going back to see his mom, to change things so he can have his mom and his dad.
And that could still be the outcome, but now instead of it's a month now because everything's bigger and they had to change the movie to make it different.
Yeah.
I just think there's going to be a lot of changes. And then look, as far as we know, like you said, the rumors, he might be the villain himself.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So we'll see.
Ugh, the idea of that. Jaydee, FanDome. Did you watch it last year?
What's FanDome?
DC's FanDome is their big showcase.
I know. It's their D23.
Yes.
Other than Black Adam, I got no interest in anything else that's going on, and I don't want to make it seem like I'm a Marvel mark. Look, I'm wearing a Batman shirt. Whatchamacallit. I really, really like Suicide Squad. I think I'm part of the select few that think it's a great movie. I mean, Suicide Squad is my favorite movie in the last 2 or 3 years. I think it's top 3. It's a top 3 movie for me. It's almost perfect. Racial biases aside, it's pretty much they're killing brown people in an undisclosed Spanish country. But that aside, I got nothing. And the Disney investor call or whatever is going to bury it the same way Spider-Man buried all the other Marvel movies that just came out. All the juice that's coming for it. Hey, do I have interest in Blue Beetle? No, you guys do. Do I have interest in Batgirl? No. Do I have interest in Shazam? No, and I'm a big Shazam mark. But I didn't like it. Yeah.
I love that movie.
Sounds good.
I swear, Jaydee, I didn't want to because I'm not a fan of the actor. But damn, when I left it, I was just like, I love this movie. I loved everything about this movie. There was nothing I disliked.
They took the Shazam from Flashpoint. That's the Shazam that they used.
That's my favorite Shazam. That's the Shazam I wanted. So when I saw that, I was just like,
they took a lot of elements because it was Jeff Johns that wrote that script.
Right. And Jeff Johns is gone now. I got no interest in the HBO stuff. No interest in the
all right, moving on to Jen.
Wait, but if you like the Suicide Squad, how are you not interested in the Peacemaker show?
Because it's perfect where it was. Wrapped up. That's it.
So wait, you don't want to see them expand on any of the characters?
Oh, no. Not
here to be happy. Leave him alone.
Peacemaker's nothing. It's garbage.
What?
He was nothing, and that's my favorite part about it.
Now something.
They made him something. I
Right.
appreciate that.
Okay.
I mean, if anything, I don't want to see this same roster for the Suicide Squad. So to me, it's the idea of I would like to see them, if they didn't die, expand them into their own stuff. I said it before. I would like to see King Shark interact with Aquaman. I would love that. That'd be awesome.
Why?
Why not? Why not? They both live in water and don't come across each other?
Grumpy King Shark? Suicide Squad King Shark? Or Flash King?
No. Shark from Suicide Squad. Yeah, the one from Suicide Squad. Because to me, when he was set free, we assume he's going back to the ocean. So it's like, it's hard to believe they never crossed each other's paths. So it's like, I would like to see that. That would be awesome to see how they interact.
Cameo from King Shark would be fucking
yes, that would be hilarious. The end credit scene is King Shark and Aquaman. Aquaman just trying to have a conversation and not understanding what the hell King Shark is saying. I would love that. We got the rumor and then debunked by James Gunn of Bloodsport having his own series or own movie for HBO Max. I do want to see these characters exploit, especially how Joel's been explaining Bloodsport to me from the newest Suicide Squad comics. He sounds awesome. So it's like, yeah, explore him some more.
But he wasn't. He was a shitty fucking guy that wore a red bandana.
No. You're talking about what he was. I'm saying what they made him now in the comics.
Right. He wasn't anybody. You're not. The point is, you're right. They were nobodies. But why is it wrong to make nobodies into somebodies?
Nothing wrong with that at all in the comic books. No, of course not.
I mean,
no, we're talking live action, Jaydee.
Right, live action.
Oh, live action. Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, we want it in live action.
Nothing wrong with that. Like, I look my problem, like Peacemakers, for an example, was a character I always felt should have got more of a push. Because I always he's one of those characters that was interesting but never got a push, and a lot of the other Charlton characters got it. Like the Question got big pushes, Blue Beetle got big pushes. Even Nightshade was the more popular character than most. Fucking Judo Master even. But like Peacemaker got kind of pushed to the side, and they made a character named the Comedian. It was basically made in his image. It was more popular character.
I don't know. I think there's so many other things that could be explored. You know, the whole Robin is bi. You know what? If Robin is bi, the whole now that Robin is bi, with the whole thing about Batman being the the great detective, if you couldn't figure that one out, brother, you know what I mean? You're a shittier fucking investigator than Lois Lane is.
Why would that be something Batman's investigating, though?
Yeah, why?
But he should know. You should know. If he has the way to fucking break everybody down with the whole Tower of Babel storyline, remember, Pete?
Robin, does he really need a big ass note? Like, oh, Robin, how do I take down Robin? No, I doubt it.
I'm just imagining the possibilities.
But I think making Tim Drake bi is a great way to separate him from the rest of the pack.
Big old shaped crowbar.
I always felt like he was left out. He's like the odd man out most of the time. So this is a good way to kind of make him more different, even though it's hard for me to imagine him without the spoiler, because that's classically who he's matched up with.
Here's the thing. I get why they did it, and you're right, Joel. But here's the thing. Here's all it comes down to. You just have to use Tim Drake more. Because here's the thing. Damian Wayne was not that interesting. It was just they used him so much, he became popularized. That's really all you ever had to do with Tim Drake, was just use him more.
But I didn't like Tim Drake's evolution out of Robin. Red Robin is a shitty character.
It is a shitty character.
Who is his Nightwing? Who does fucking Robin?
He deserves better than fucking.
I agree with you. I agree with you. I agree with you on that. Yes. So you know that I got no interest in anything else. I think the best show that would have came out of the DC shows was Swamp Thing.
Yes.
That was good.
It's a travesty that we didn't get more of that.
You're leading me into what I was about to say, Jaydee, which is what I'm looking forward to the most out of FanDome is all the question mark productions, which is J.J. Abrams doing his Dark Universe. Swamp Thing is supposed to be coming from J.J. Abrams. I need news on that. I want to know more about J.J. Abrams' Superman and how it's supposed and where it stands compared to where Michael B. Jordan's Superman is going to be standing.
Especially the most black Superman.
Right. So to me, I'm more interested in what we don't know.
I will say this.
What we do.
One thing before. I am more interested now in the whole President Superman story than I ever have been, because I've been reading a lot more of him in current comic books. Because he's the leader of Justice League Incarnate, and they're the Justice League of the multiverse. Right. You know what I'm saying? So he's in a lot of the I forget what it's called right now, but they're the current comic where he's in it, and he's pretty much the lead of the comic. But now I know who he is. I'm more interested in him than I ever have before, and I think it helps when it helps me get more intrigued in this character. And if that's where JJ's going, if he's going with Calvin Ellis, President Superman, I'm more interested now. Now I'm more intrigued than I was literally a couple months ago.
Yeah, to me, it's whatever concept he goes with, I can accept. I told you my main thing is I just need to know where it lies. That's really it. Once you tell me where it lies, are you replacing? Is this just a one-off? Because at the end of the day, it's just for me, not for anyone else, not for mainstream anyone else. The idea for Superman is it's ridiculous. I can't even fathom it. You know what I'm saying? So to me, it's if Abrams is a one-off just to have fun, Michaels is a one-off just to have fun, and Henry is still coming back. I just need to know that. That's all I need to know.
Why?
Why we want to see a Justice
Let's
League?
move on already. Let's move on from it.
Wait,
That's-
move
And I'm
on
a
from
Henry
Henry
Cavill
Superman?
fan. I'm a Henry Cavill fan, but it's like they did him dirty. He's having fucking more fun doing other shit. I want to see Henry Cavill as the next James
But
Bond.
here's the thing though. We're gonna get into that. So hold that, JD. We're gonna get into James Bond. Hold that. But here's my thing. I don't know if like we are saying they did him dirty. But the last thing he said about Superman was that they were having conversations about Superman.
Yeah.
He said, as far as he's concerned, no one told him that he's not Superman anymore. So to me, we keep saying they did him dirty. We have no idea what they actually have been saying to each other behind the scenes. That's why I'm saying FanDome could be find out.
They did him dirty because he was supposed to have a second solo film, and instead he got lumped in with a Batman film because Zack Snyder always wanted to suck Batman dick. I mean, he always wanted to do a Batman fucking.
Who doesn't though? Who doesn't want to suck Batman dick?
I don't want to suck
Sorry.
Batman dick.
I'm gonna edit that out. Sorry. I love Pete's face. Yeah, you should edit that out. I'm keeping it. I don't care. That's my.
It's full of guano.
Is that going to be the?
Guano,
Is that the trailer for this episode?
Hell no, Pete. If I can remember, it won't even still be in this episode. No, I mean, JD, I get what you're saying.
I'm gonna just text you a little bat emoji with the eggplant. We'll see if you put them together.
I'm of the mindset of if they want him back and he wants to come back, do it. If he doesn't want to come back, then by all means, move on.
What sucks is that like where's the room for him now that they're doing 3 other Superman?
That is
Right.
true. That is true. That is true.
Right.
That's the stress. That's where the stress comes in at.
Oh, it hurts.
So to me, that's what I'm looking forward to the most out of FanDome is just more answers to questions that they seemingly don't want to answer. We've legit heard nothing about Abrams in this Dark Universe since it was announced he's going to do a Dark Universe. We've heard not a peep. It is just like, why do y'all keep doing this? Why announce something that you're 8 years away from? Just announce it when you're closer to actually starting it. You know? So to me, that's what I'm looking forward to from FanDome the most. And I want to know more about their animation world. I want new animation shows. I would love them to a bring back that Green Lantern animated show.
Yeah.
I would love
that.
a fan outcry to bring that back. That was very well done.
Never coming back. But yeah.
I know it probably is.
I agree with that.
I love that, and I love Beware the Batman. And I would have liked to have seen them build on both of those worlds. Because neither one got a second season. And it was just like, damn, you pulled the plug on both?
They were good shows.
They were really good shows. And I want to know more about their movie animated world. Like, are you are you going to do more solo Justice League member movies before bringing the team back together?
Another Justice League movie, period. You know?
Right, yeah. I mean, we can assume that's what they're building up to.
I hope so. Because right now, next we have Injustice, and then we have the Catwoman solo animated.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And after
Which
that,
I'm really sad about because what's her name that passed away? God rest her soul. Yes, I loved what she did with Catwoman in The Long Halloween.
I did too.
Part 1 and Part 2. I would have loved to have seen her get her own Catwoman animated movie because she did great, and I would have loved to have seen her story take place right after that second movie, where now it's kind of like, well, where do you go after picking up the pieces of finding out about yourself? So yeah, that really sucks. But yeah, so they're doing stuff in the animated world. Injustice is next up. So I'm curious to see where they go with that. No. I saw the behind the scenes for it, and they showed one of my all-time favorite scenes from that. So I'm like, all right, they're willing to go as dark as possible with Injustice. So I'm all in. I'm completely all in. Yeah. All right. Pete, what are you looking forward to the most? I wanted to ask you before we moved on.
I'm a very easy person to please. But if I really had to hammer something down, I'm a huge Rock and Black Adam fan. I've always been a Black Adam fan. I look at him like DC's Dr. Doom. You know, like the guy that rules his own country that everybody else hates, but his people love him.
And
yeah. Like I would probably say, like, give me a trailer for that. I've been waiting for this movie since I think, like, I think the first rumors of The Rock's involvement in anything Shazam was like 2016 when they thought he was going to be Shazam and not even Black Adam. So like, I've been waiting for this since then. Like, I think that's probably what would please me the most. Not to say I'm not looking forward. I want to see it all, of course, but yeah, I think that's what I would be most anticipating if it even happens.
Yeah, I mean, it should. You filmed it. You have way more than enough footage to give us a trailer.
Yep.
Their
job is to attract Jaydee back again.
Yes.
Yeah. Yo, Joel, could you picture if there was a whole marketing team that's just designated for that? It's like, figure out how to bring Jaydee back. That's your only job.
Are you not entertained?
Look, guys, you know
I
what?
can just picture they're falling asleep. Someone kicks the door open. Wake up. Jaydee said he still does not like anything.
One of Jaydee's house for FanDome.
Fix it. No one sleeps till Jaydee is
4 hours online.
That's how it's gonna be when it's pushing my shit. It's like my shit, the unstoppable FanDome, right? And it's like, yo, I'm fucking going to sleep here. I'm going to sleep here, guys. What the fuck are you doing? What are you doing? Let's go. Let's go. It's funny you said kicked in the door because when Kevin Feige told Marcus McFeely that they had Spider-Man for the movies, he didn't say he had Spider-Man. He just opened up the door to the room that they were working in and went. That's all it fucking did.
All I need
from Marcus and McFeely's fucking mouths.
Sometimes that's all you need. Sometimes it's just subtleties. Sometimes it's just the subtleties. But all right, let's move on. I put this question in here because I thought it was fair to ask. And Jaydee, I want to start with you. Have action movies and horror movies lost their creativity?
No.
Oh, okay. All right.
If I could see Tom Cruise strap himself to the side of a fucking plane and be attached to it while it does a barrel roll, yeah, it has not lost its creativity. Sinister and Insidious. Wow. Really good stuff.
Not for nothing, the new Fear Street movies, and I'm not a fan of the books. I never read the books, but those movies were dope, and they really pushed the boundaries of PG-13.
Right,
they sure did.
They pushed the boundaries of PG-13, and there were so many different callbacks. There were not callbacks, excuse me. There were so many homages to Friday the 13th, even Goonies. With the bathroom bucket scene. Even Ginger Snaps. I don't know if people remember Ginger Snaps at all.
Hell yes! That movie does not get nearly enough play.
Bro, tell me the third fucking Ginger Snap installment when they went back in time to the fort wasn't the homage.
Just like the 1600 shit. Yeah.
Man.
I thought I was the only one that put that shit together.
Thank you for backing me up on that, bro.
Would you be mad at me if I told you I thought you were talking about the cookies?
No, ginger snaps are delicious.
Okay, I thought you were saying like, who remembers ginger snaps? And I'm like,
when I first heard the title of this movie, I'm like, oh, like the cookie. But no, it's not like the cookie at all. It's honestly like one of the best modern werewolf films you could see ever since. It's Canadian.
Canadian. Yep.
Now I kind of want that against them. Now I kind of want a horror movie based off of the cookies. Now I kind of want that.
Even the opening, bro, of Fear Street, the first one. Where, whatchamacallit, Psycho and Scream. You killed Ethan Hawke's daughter in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah.
My dad will not say, and Pete, if you end up going Friday, you can try to get out of him. He won't say a good word about Scream.
Oh, yeah.
To him, that's not real horror. And I get it. I keep trying to, well, let me not say it like I'm trying to teach him something, but I keep trying to tell him Scream was an introduction into a new world it was the suspense horror.
Yeah.
No. It's a slasher film. A slasher flick.
I just took it more so as suspense horror, but I get you.
It's a slasher flick, bro. Slasher's totally different than fucking horror. You know what I mean? Slasher bridges the gap between thriller and horror.
Oh, okay. Then yeah, okay. I get what you're saying. To him, he prefers real horror. And you know,
like, what's his favorite horror movie?
I don't know.
What you mean? What's his favorite scary movie?
Yeah, which but no, I mean, I thought they had a good stretch with, you know, I Know What You Did Last Summer, Scream.
I love Jennifer Love Hewitt. I always will.
Right?
Yes.
I mean, come on, you can't help but love Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Heartbreakers.
But yeah, so to me, when I crafted this question, JD, I really crafted it because you brought up the example of Tom Cruise, but that's what I mean about creativity. Let's just stick with action movies because I get your point on horror movies. They've been very creative, purely just James Wan himself. Because the last 8 good horror movies are either directed by him or from one of his students.
Now we got Malignant next week. I can't wait.
Yeah, exactly.
What's that? I don't know about that.
Oh, check out the trailer. Check out the trailer real quick. But JD, so this is what would prime my question. Sorry.
Yeah, good.
Mission Impossible is one of those been there, done that. They get better with time. I won't argue that at all. But I mean, is action movies losing its creativity? What I mean by that is, what's the last action movie you saw that wasn't something that already existed, that was completely new of its own?
What do you
creative.
Do you mean the entire story is being conceptualized? Do you mean certain fight scenes doing something different, that a brand new take on what you haven't seen before? Give me. Don't just make it a general question.
I'll make it a mix of both, because to me, action has, well, to some people, action movies don't have to have a good script, just has to have good action, right? And to some people, it has to have a good balance of both. So I'll prime this question to you being whatever is more important to you. So if both are important, then I'll ask you, when's the last time you saw a good mix of both?
A good mix of both. I really liked the last Raid Redemption. The fight choreography in the prison scene was amazing, to keep all of that in the wraps. Looking at the fight choreography in Shang-Chi, I'm looking forward to the bus scene. Watching Mr. Nobody. I don't know if you guys saw Mr. Nobody.
I love Mr. Nobody. I love that.
See, I really liked it, dude. It felt a little flat at the end, but it worked. It was John Wick with a family.
It looked like it fit in that world. That's what I liked about it.
See, I liked, and I think this is mainly my bias because I fucking love the director. I love Wrath of a Man, Jason Statham. The action wasn't great, but the story I loved. I loved the story that led into the action of it.
Dude, I like this movie that's just on Netflix right now. Blood Sky.
That was weird. I didn't finish it.
On my notes.
I started.
I liked it. There was this thing, SAS. I didn't like it. It was shit. It was garbage.
Did anybody watch Tomorrow War? Was that any good?
I didn't see that.
Yes, and shout out to Chris McKay. I personally loved it. I can't wait to see the sequel to it. It got greenlit for a sequel. Okay. I thought it was creative. I thought the monsters were creative. And that's what I was most nervous about. That's what I actually talked to him when I spoke to him, was because when you look at what what's the movie from the guy that was Jim in The Office?
Jim Halp with the rabbits.
That was good.
Can't think
of
it.
That's a really good
the silence shit.
Quiet Place Part 2.
Quiet Place.
It was a very good sequel, man.
What I brought up to Chris McKay was when you're going into, and he was giving all the credit to the writer, because I'm like, it's really hard to do a monster like they did in that movie, because A Quiet Place set such a high bar for their monster. It was so unique. We've never seen anything like that. Think about it. When it kills, it doesn't go to bite you like your most traditional monsters. It was swiping people's heads off and not even going back to eat them. Its pure conception was to kill. That was it. If it hears you, it kills you. It wasn't even to eat you or to consume you at all. So that's why I'm like, that's very unique. I've never really seen something like that.
Let me go to shout out Juwaan Hansu for a second. And this guy is having the best career of his life right now. All right, he came in last second, filled in Quiet Place Part 2. I think a day or two before shooting was supposed to commence, because the role he was supposed to have was supposed to go to somebody else.
He's the man,
He had a, you could tell he had a great time in the last What If, the Chadwick Boseman
Second
episode.
episode, yeah.
He's crossing over between DC and Marvel like nothing.
Mm-hmm.
He's filling in so many spots, doing multiple roles in both areas. He is the fucking man right now. I think Juwaan Hansu and David Smolchin are having like the best geek careers right now.
Yeah. Small roles,
Yeah, man.
Part.
Okay. Oh, you know what? You want to talk about action? Dude, Suicide Squad was a fucking action flick. I loved it. What's new? What's different? Okay. They had a pissing contest when they were walking through the rebel camp trying to kill the rebels.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And shout out to James Gunn, because all of us knew this. I'm not saying like it was anything new, but he confirmed the reason why Rick Flag's kill was so personal was so that he could show the audience this isn't one of those, oh, he'll be back. He is dead, like super dead. Yeah. And I was just like, yeah, that's what I loved about it, was that he was just like, no, I'm not leaving this up for people to
and
go.
They made him likable.
Yes.
Yeah. He died a hero.
I think Joel Kinnaman is a flat actor. He's a nice guy, but he doesn't bring anything to the screen.
See, I thought he brought a lot to that. That whole.
I would have agreed with you until maybe a year ago, because I saw what was that show that he was on Netflix?
Oh, Altered Carbon.
Altered Carbon, he's great, and he was obviously great as Rick Flag. So when given the right material, he can perform.
See, but I preferred his Rick Flag in the Suicide Squad than I did in the first one. I thought the first one only added to how flat he is. The second one, that last scene was just like, damn.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I was saying. Because I felt the same way. Like, that's why I'm like, I wouldn't be surprised if he dies in the second movie, because he was just whatever. But that made me give a shit. I didn't want him to die.
Joel Kinnaman makes the perfect Cyclops.
He would be a good.
I'll say this. Off of the Suicide Squad.
Not a bad idea, actually.
Yes. But I also want to make sure that if you're casting Cyclops, you're not doing what they've done to him in the past. You're making him a bigger character than the Fox universe. He needs to stand out more.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, the Fox universe just killed him off like it was nothing in that third movie.
He shouldn't be treated like a side character.
Right. But see, that's why me and Joel were saying, I'm not against if they start an X-Men franchise and Wolverine's nowhere near that X-Men team till later. Because you want to establish how prominent those characters are.
It's such a big universe. A lot of those characters, you can start them off in different places and have them show up with X-Men later.
100%. So so if you do cast Joel Kinnaman as Cyclops, I need you to cast him knowing that he's going to mean a whole lot.
That's fine.
To the MCU than just a sidekick. But yeah, no, I mean, I love what you said, Jaydee, and I love how simple it was. No, there is no lack of creativity. And just horror movies alone, they're getting better. There was a stretch to where horror movies were just like Piranha 3D and shit like that. It was just like, what are you doing? Like,
I actually watched them.
The new Purge was a little The first kill was not Purge, I'm sorry. Saw, Book of Spiral.
Yes.
I didn't see that yet.
I liked it.
Oh, Pete, please watch it. I'm trying to interview the director.
Is that on HBO Max right now? Because I'll watch that shit tonight.
No.
The first kill had me going, ooh.
Yes. You know what and Pete, this is not spoilers at all.
Okay.
But what it did was it brought back the essence of Saw right before they went off of the track in the original series. Like, I think 4 was the last one I truly really gave a shit about. So
I could watch it on Amazon for $6. I got $6.
Please,
you can wait. You can wait. It's a wait movie. Yeah, $6. You'd be like, fuck.
Save your money, buddy.
Maybe. I'll say this, Pete. I think the reveal of who it was is at least worth $6.
Okay.
But if you want to wait, it's not.
No, the reveal of who it was telegraphed when that character was introduced earlier in the movie.
What? No, I didn't know.
100%.
Joel, did you know who it was?
I didn't know.
Yeah, I didn't know who it was. I had no idea. I had no idea. Then I must have missed something because when it showed it to me, I was just like,
Telegraphed.
"Oh, okay."
It was telegraphed. I missed. Yeah,
Yeah,
you know what? It threw me off. There was a point where I'm like, oh, well, then it can't be. But then obviously that was the point.
No, Pete, we're not spoiling anything. You're good. We're not spoiling.
I'm just fucking around.
But Joel, I'll go to you. You're definitely more into horror more than I am. For sure. You watch way more than I do. But do you think there's beginning to be a lack of creativity? Maybe we'll take horror movies out of it. Is there beginning to be a lack of creativity in action movies? Or maybe originality is the better word.
I mean,
creativity.
I don't think you need I think that you need less originality in action movies as you do compared to to me, you get more credit for being more creative in horror than in action. And because action you can do a lot more. I mean, you can do a lot with action, but aside from the action parts, you need to fill out the rest of the movie, and it's harder to do that in an action movie than it is in a horror movie.
So wait, let me ask you this. What do you think is the most original or creative? I'm sorry, let's say creative. Is the most creative horror movie?
Creative horror movie?
Yeah.
Yikes.
Because I want to do
what was it? With Jordan Peele, almost all his movies have been very fucking creative, in my opinion.
Okay, so let's
off the get. Get Out was
Us.
creative. Us was creative.
Okay, so let's
Us was great. Us fucking.
I didn't see Us yet.
Okay, so hold on. Let's take Us. Let me ask you this. And Jaydee,
without spoiling it.
Oh no! I'm not asking anything about the movie. Okay. Let's take Us because you said that's one of the most creative recent movies, right? So what do you think is more impressive? How creative Us was, or how creative something like The Raid was?
I think there's more thought put into the. Wow.
No, you can't. You can't. I don't think you could because, they were both homages to other movies that had piecemeal parts brought into it. The Raid had a little bit of Game of Death involved in it.
Right. A lot of Game of Death. And then Judge Dredd took from it and did its own version of that, which was fucking
right.
Well, not more so, Jaydee, to where I get what you're saying. It's not completely original because it's taking from, or creative because it's taking from things. I just mean more so when people speak action movies, Raid is up there.
100%.
Right. And
dude,
when
that one scene where he has the guy and he's falling and he smashes the guy into 3 consecutive tiles before the guy hits the floor, it's just like, that's fucking abuse. You know what I mean?
Right.
And creative in different ways, because creative choreography in a fight is different than creative storytelling in a horror movie.
Well, that's what I mean by.
I can't even imagine putting that together in a fight choreography, but I can imagine because I do horror short stories. I help film them in certain aspects. So I've come up with it. I use real world horror stories sometimes to tell fake ones. Because you take from reality, take your own experience, and then maybe amplify it and you turn it into something scary. So horror is not always that hard, but doing choreography, you need some type of experience in a fight. Sometimes, I would love to do a choreographed fight, but you need to actually play around and.
But that's why, in my opinion, it's harder for action movies because in horror movies, at its purest, it's just playing into what people are already afraid of. Right? You're just playing off of someone's fears.
Mm-hmm.
So there's someone somewhere that's afraid of someone breaking into their house. So it's not hard to scare that person of that concept. But in action, that's why I said it's hard to balance it because sometimes people just want to see The Rock throwing a guy out of a window.
Right.
Some people want to see a good story with The Rock throwing somebody out of the window.
Yeah. Look, I'm a huge fan of the Expendable movies. Those don't have good stories. But I fucking love them.
Hell no, right?
They're just fun. I watched both of them back to back after finding out there's a part 4 coming out.
Yes.
I saw 2 and 3. That's all I want to look them up.
And Jason Statham's supposed to be getting his own spinoff.
I hope so. I hope he takes over for Barney, and then they continue with Statham as the leader. But you know, that's just a difference. You know, but that's action, pure action. You know what I mean? Just these guys shooting motherfuckers. That's all you need sometimes.
I thought the formula of that, and then Pete, I'm gonna go to you. I thought the formula of that was to bring in action heroes. So when they announced some of the new cast, and they're like 50 Cent, I was just like,
think about who they're replacing. They're replacing Terry Crews.
Oh, is that what they're doing?
Well,
I didn't know that.
If he's not in it, it's basically Terry Crews.
Oh, okay.
And if Jet Li's not coming back, Tony Jaa. You get what I'm saying?
Tony Jaa's a man.
And Tony Jaa's a fucking man.
See, I need to see more. Like, I don't want to see Tony Jaa versus Sylvester Stallone's character. I need to see Tony Jaa
probably
versus
part of the team.
Tatum. Oh, you're thinking he's part of the team?
That's what I'm assuming.
Yeah, I don't think Tony Jaa's ever been a bad guy before.
Yes,
he was. He was.
Yeah.
Stuber with
Stuber, that's right.
Yeah, with Batista and what's his name? Kamal Nanjiani.
I didn't see that one.
Wasn't he a bad guy in one of the Fast movies? I forget.
Yeah, he was like a henchman. He wasn't like a big bad. He was like a henchman. But yeah, he was a bad guy. But to your point, Pete, he is one of those actors that just prefers not to be. He's a hero more than he is a villain.
That's, you know, stemming off of that, that's kind of like what you need for an original, you know, a creative action movie. Sometimes you just gotta like look around, like what kind of martial art hasn't really been showcased yet. You know, you got guys like Jean-Claude Van Damme back in the day doing split kicks, and you know, gymnastic stuff was really big then, and now, you know, Krav Maga was really big for a while in MMA, so you had a lot of up close stuff and breaks and things, and then you bring in a guy like Tony Jaa who can flip fucking 15 feet in the air, and he, you know, he's straight up Muay Thai and the shit that he does.
Muay Thai, and then you have
we never saw Muay Thai like that. The best Muay Thai we had was Sagat from Street Fighter, for God's sakes.
Well,
you know, or going back to the 90s when
kickboxer.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. Or friggin' when Mark Dacascos put capoeira on the map, like nobody knew what that shit was until then.
I love all this stuff.
Yeah, it's one of the best movies ever.
Wait, when did that come out?
94, maybe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The first time I saw something like that was.
I wanted to take capoeira so badly, but I was not agile enough for that.
Wait, Pete. I think we talked about this before. Isn't that what the Black Ranger did?
No, he did hip hop keto. Hop keto is an actual fucking art.
Hop keto is a Korean, like Korean.
It's like a really weird, like redheaded stepchild of TKD. I don't know.
Tell you what, if you start breakdancing before you kick my ass, I'm making sure before you're done, we both die.
Hey, everybody picked Eddie Gordo in Tekken because it was just easy to play with him, right?
Yep. Going off of TKD, I used to pick Warang. So yeah.
Oh, me too though. I used to play with Law all the time in fucking Tekken. And then look, bringing up new martial arts, like all the raid was like, what was it called?
That was a particular form of kung fu.
It's the Indonesian martial art.
Oh, okay.
You know, it's something that's never really, you don't really see a lot.
Yeah.
So they made it popular. The raid people, fuck.
I thought it was kung fu, actually. I didn't even know that.
It's their own style. Yeah, Pankasala is different. I mean, it has similarities. They all have similarities. But,
so like that area. But I mean, there are so many different types of kung fu and things like that and offshoots of it. When somebody knows what they're doing and they get into particular stances and you're like, oh shit.
All right, so we only got two more things, then we're getting out of here.
Real quick, one thing.
Yeah,
as far as original horror flicks go, I got 3 suggestions for you. One's a twofer, it's a part 1 and 2, and then a totally different one. As far as like slasher flicks go, if you guys haven't seen The Collector and The Collection yet,
yes,
I've seen
yes. Pete, if you come Friday, my dad will hug you if you bring up The Collector.
One of the best movies I've seen in a long time.
He took me to the theaters to see that, and that was one of the most cringiest movies to watch because it's just like, you kind of felt like if you're in the theater, if you made noise, it would happen.
Yeah,
that was yes, The Collector, yes.
Like sometimes you just need good original kills for a good original horror flick. But as far as complete originality, I cannot give enough credit to The Color Out of Space with Nicolas Cage, based off that H.P. Lovecraft movie, because I'm sorry, based off that H.P. Lovecraft story. Think before speaking, Pete. Because when you're reading a story about a weird color, you know, that's really a difficult thing to conceptualize, let alone visualize. And they did such a spectacular job of literally washing out the saturation in, you know, in some of these scenes to actually give you the concept of an alien color, like a being that is along the electromagnetic spectrum that humans are not able to see, because, you know, we see like this much of the world of light. So it's such an awesome flick, and it's really, it's got like those hidden horror scenes. Like all of a sudden you're like, ooh, ooh, ooh. Like I highly recommend this to anybody that's a Lovecraft fan or just looking for some crazy ass Nick Cage action.
I mean, and who doesn't want crazy ass Nick Cage action?
Honestly, have you seen oh frig, what the Willie's Road, something like that? Oh man, it looks like fucking somebody took that crazy ass Five Nights at Freddy's, which is like a children's YouTube shit, and made it the horror flick that it was always meant to be.
That's what it looks like. Five Nights at Freddy's. Yeah, it looks fucking.
Oh man,
it's insane. That is Nicolas Cage at some of his most insane. Please watch that movie. I can't remember the title. It's something about like Willie's Funhouse or some shit. I'm gonna look that motherfucker up right now.
All right. So as you look that up, I'm gonna take us into one of our last two topics.
Willy's Wonderland.
Willy's Wonderland. Okay. Jaydee, I'm gonna start off with you, man. We got our final trailer for the new James Bond movie. So my question to you is, how have you enjoyed or how have you viewed Daniel Craig's time as James Bond, and who would you like to see take over, and how long should we get a gap between this movie and then when the reboot starts?
I'm okay with Daniel Craig. You know, no complaints. When he first came out, I was like, whatever. No big deal that he was blonde. I am glad that he has run his course. My favorite James Bond of all time is Pierce Brosnan. I know that's not everybody's favorite.
That's mine.
My man. And I am hoping we get Henry Cavill. I don't know if anybody ever saw Man from U.N.C.L.E., the movie, which probably won't be ever making the rounds again because of his co-star.
Right.
But Henry had a great performance as the gentleman spy, as the dapper guy, you know? And if anybody remembers Roger Moore was the Saint before he became James Bond. And I used to watch those shows on Nick at Night, you know, and I like that debonair guy that I'll chum my socks off with you, baby. You know what I mean? Type of spy. So I hope we get Henry Cavill as James Bond. I'm pushing for that because he's one of us, and he's got a few franchises. Keep him going. Make that money, baby.
It's funny you say that because originally I didn't feel this way, but Joel got me feeling this way. Kind of feel like if you have a few franchises under your belt, you should maybe let someone else have a franchise. It's kind of like Tom Holland. Everyone, when they were saying they were going to do a Legend of Zelda movie, everyone was just like Tom Holland, and it's like, no, he can't be Nathan Drake.
Yes, he
Spider-Man.
can.
No, he can't completely box in a market, Pete.
He can totally be Link. I never even thought of that.
No, but here's the problem. The more you think about it, the more you're just like, well, he could be Mega Man. He could be, and it's just like, you'll give Tom Holland everything. We have to make sure we're opening it for new people. Because if that was the case, Andrew would still be Spider-Man. We wouldn't even have Tom Holland right now. So we got to open the door for new people. He's fine with Spider-Man that he'll be with for the next, 10 to 15 years. Uncharted, if it does well, the possibility of movies is endless that they could do with that. He's okay. He doesn't need Legend of Zelda. He's okay. He's okay. We can think of somebody else.
Part. He looks like a little elf child. Like he's so fair.
You know who would be better? And listen, hear me out. If you're doing Link, right? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
The kid from Cobra Kai.
I'm not familiar with the show.
The one who joined
Danny.
The Spanish kid, right?
Not the Spanish kid.
The other one.
The main character, damn it.
Johnny's son, you mean?
Johnny's son.
Okay, I could see that too.
I could see it.
It's not bad.
Wait, in your Legend of Zelda movie, does he talk?
Yeah, of course.
I don't mind.
Okay, all right.
If he doesn't say "excuse me, princess" at least once, I'm gonna be disappointed.
No, I only ask because usually, it's subtext, it's subtitles. He doesn't verbally. You don't hear him actually talk. So I was curious.
I mean, we can make sure he goes like,
right, like he makes
64
noises,
shit.
yeah. He makes noises, he doesn't
he
verbally
says shit,
talk.
all right? So he can talk.
Yeah, Link talks for sure.
No, but Jaydee, I like the pick of Henry Cavill, because he is everything you would imagine James Bond being. He would be the largest James Bond we've ever had. That would make some of the choreography just a bit he could just pick him up by the neck and throw him. That full fight he had was unnecessary. Just throw him off the building. You're huge. But no, I mean, look, I think that's probably everybody's unanimous pick of just go with Henry Cavill. But he again is the guy that is working on The Witcher. He's working on another possible franchise. We don't know if he's still Superman. And it's God damn, you're giving him James Bond too? It's one of those things where it's just sure. But my last question, Jaydee, is how long of a gap should there be before we get a new James?
5 years.
5 years? Okay.
Yeah, and the clock is already ticking. So.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm curious. Amazon now owns the rights, so I'm curious what Amazon wants to do with it. Because you could do a whole bunch. Amazon could do spinoffs for their streaming service. That run concurrent to the actual movie. You can do a lot with it, Amazon, and you didn't spend all that shit ton of movie to buy MGM and not actually go all out. Joel, I do know, and I'm jumping out on a ledge here. I do know that Daniel Craig is your preferred James Bond out of the ones we've had so far. So you can go into how you felt about his time as James Bond, knowing that we're at the end. And then who you would like to see his replacement be?
Yes, he is. And I'm a James Bond fan. I've been one since I was a kid. I did grow up with Pierce Brosnan. He was my first Bond that I remember. And of course, growing up watching reruns, watching Sean Connery and Moore and all of them, I got it. Trust me, I get it. But the first time I really liked James, and I liked him before, but sometimes it was a little, to me, it was just sometimes a little too goofy. But the last time I took him more seriously was with Daniel Craig. And to me, he's the most the least, how do I say it? He looks the least like I would imagine James Bond. But he's also my favorite James Bond. He's not, when you look at him, he's not the most attractive guy. He's the most fit of probably all of them. But he's not naturally attractive. And he's blonde. It's just he's not what I imagined in my head what James Bond looks like. But he was, in my opinion, my favorite James. His movies have been my favorite James Bond movies. And
I'm sorry, go ahead, Joel.
No, I'm just saying, I'm gonna miss him, and it's his time is up. I agree with that. It's time for someone else to pass it on. I'm 100% fine with that. And look, anybody that takes over, it's a blessing for them to take over. And I don't know. On the top of my head, I don't know who I would like to be the next one. I would be fine with Henry Cavill. I would he fits in perfectly how I imagine that James Bond looks. But I'm okay with anyone else they want to bring in. Just surprise me, because there's a lot of good British actors out there that can take that spot. But I'm gonna miss Daniel Craig. I definitely didn't love all his movies, but I've liked, for the most part, I like them all. And I hope this last one kills it, because it's my man.
Yeah, I will say what I think I prefer about his James Bond than even Pierce Brosnan's was. He was the only flawed James Bond.
Yeah.
If you think about it, he was really the only flawed James Bond. So where it was just anything he could mess up, he messed up. Women got him in trouble every time. There's not one movie a woman is not the reason why he was in the predicament he was in. So I mean, they just
every man's story ever.
It literally could be the downfall of literally any man on earth.
Yes.
So I will say, Joel, he's had the best stories. I think the reason I go with Pierce Brosnan is, again, like you started off saying, he was the first one I saw. And then my favorite N64 game of all time, that's him. You know what I'm saying? So it's more so one of those, I literally just grew up with it and it just stuck with me, right? But I won't, if anyone came out and said, oh, Daniel's movies were better, I wouldn't argue at all. I mean, I think the biggest thing I remember about Daniel Craig's movies is I think they introduced a whole new form of torture. I don't think anyone in the world ever thought of wrapping a dude's balls and then just bullwhipping them. Like,
you've never been married, man.
Wait, you said I've never been. That's what people do in marriage?
You've never gone through a divorce.
I thought you were saying I'm like, wait, they do that in marriage? They bullwhip your ball? I didn't know that. I'll never.
I mean, people are into kinky shit. You never know.
Look, the idea is they could burst at any one of those its. I have no interest in that. None. And it was the first time I've ever seen Mads Mikkelsen. That was my first time of seeing Mads.
Yeah, mine too.
So that was a lot of fun. So there's just
probably Jeffrey Wright too.
And Jeffrey Wright, you're absolutely right. Yep. Which is why I'm glad he's in this last one. What would you say, Jaydee?
No, I've been following Jeffrey Wright for a long time.
Oh yeah, I only saw it. Those three guys I saw for the first.
Oh no, he was the chef, wasn't he?
Yes, yes, he was.
People,
he was.
Christian Bale was too. To be fair,
Christian Bale.
That's true. Yes, he was.
Yep. I think people forget that because it was something you would never think of. Like if they asked that question on Jeopardy, I guarantee you 100% of people would get that wrong.
He was the rich douchebag. Yes, I remember that.
Yeah, because you would go, no way, Christian Bale's in Shat. What the hell did he do in Shat?
Yeah, right.
What movie starred Batman, Nick Fury, and The Watcher before those actors took their role?
And I'm telling you, no one would get that right.
And now
No
Commissioner Gordon.
Right, Commissioner Gordon, rather, yeah. No, I mean, look, I'm sad to see him go, mainly because he had two stinkers before this one. So it's kind of putting all the pressure on this one.
I like Spectre.
Fair. I personally thought it was a drop off from where it was Casino Royale.
Yeah, it's like one good, one bad, one good usually.
No, I liked the second one. I enjoyed the second
I didn't. I thought that was the worst one.
Wow, I really enjoyed the second one.
Mama Solace is my least favorite.
Wait, how many have we had? This is the fifth one, right?
It's gonna be the fifth one, yes.
This is gonna be the fifth one.
Yeah.
I thought the fourth one was horrible. So not two. I enjoyed 1, 2, 3. I hate the fourth one.
No, Skyfall's the third one.
Okay. Skyfall's the third one.
Skyfall is arguably the best one.
Skyfall is the one everyone thinks had the best theme song. That I argue.
I think Spectre had the best theme song, but yes, I do.
I agree.
Skyfall was good though. I'm not gonna lie.
I agree. I want to see Idris Elba. We talk about surprising, being different. I would like to see Amazon go out there, man. If anyone can afford the risk, it's Amazon.
Now look, I like Idris Elba. I really like Idris Elba. I'm a mark for Idris Elba.
Mm-hmm.
He can't fucking be in everything. There's more than one fucking black actor. This is like the 90s. Denzel.
Well, see, I'm not going off of just off of his name. I'm only going off of. I don't know many other actors that are British that has the pedigree.
Swag, say it, man.
Well, no, just the pedigree. Like if there's other black British actors, I'm just not that familiar with them. That's all I'm saying. That's the only reason why
you don't even know either.
Right, that's why I immediately went to Idris Elba. If I knew other ones, I would go somewhere else for sure.
No, because he's a marketable name. That's why.
Oh no, the guy from Joel, my favorite drug show on FX. Shit. Snowfall. He's British.
There you go.
Obviously, I wouldn't want him to be James Bond. The frame is too small, and I think
the guy that's playing Hawkman is British. I think.
Yeah, he is. But
he?
I don't think he's got. Yeah, he is. He's he was.
I don't think so.
I don't think he is British.
I don't think.
But he does a really good accent, though.
I've heard interviews.
I could swear I've heard him do an accent before.
Well, I'm sorry.
He might look like someone.
let me say why I think he's not, and it's probably stupid. So sorry. Usually, actors that are British that have like American, like our accents in movies, when they do interviews, they have their native tongue. Yes. I've heard him in interviews. He does not have British accent at all.
I follow him on Instagram.
Right. So unless he just lost it, I don't.
That's going on.
I could have sworn he was British too.
I mean,
maybe I'm thinking of somebody else.
Joel, it's possible. What's his name? That played Jax in Sons of Anarchy, Charlie Hunnam. He said doing Sons of Anarchy as long as he did, he lost his accent.
I didn't even know he had one.
Yeah, he went back home and they made fun of him. So he said he had to get back.
Hold on a second. Lenny James. Why can't Lenny James, the lead in Fear the Walking Dead?
Is James Bond?
Oh, you mean Morgan?
Is James Bond?
James Bond?
And short.
No, I know Morgan, and I don't see James Bond.
I love him in Fear the Walking Dead and The Walking Dead, but is James Bond?
I just got back into
how you would sell that.
I don't know, man. I don't know about that. There's a what do they call it? There's that swag factor. I don't see it.
Yeah.
Debonair. I don't really see it.
Yeah.
Hey, don't get me wrong. Like I said, fucking this dude is not what you call classically beautiful. But
Daniel Craig.
He has some.
There's nothing to even use that word about him. There's just
right, exactly. But like Joel said,
Captain Squinty.
But he is swag. He's smooth.
Swag that he has.
Every British person is smooth. Unless they're from fucking up north and they talk like this or some shit like that. Unless they're fucking dreadnoughts.
You know what's funny?
You all got that reference?
Yeah, you know what's funny though? Daniel Craig does look like what they used to draw Duke to look like in the G.I. Joe comic. He does look like he could have been Duke in another.
He could have been a real American hero. That's very true.
Yes, for sure. Until he talked, and then you're just like, ugh.
Oh,
anyway. I mean, look. Are we holding James Bond to a specific race? Because I know this isn't the right time to even bring this up to you guys. You're gonna laugh me out of the podcast. But Henry Golding, before you guys saw Snake Eyes.
Snake Eyes ruined it.
Would have been a really good name. He is British. And he does have that factor. Again, if you watch The Gentleman, which me and Joel love, he has so much swag. He's just oozing with it in that movie.
That guy's gonna go do something respectable now, like flip burgers at the local fucking White Castle.
We are not going to destroy Henry Golding.
Yeah, we are.
No,
fine, I'll do it. As Thanos would say, I'll do it myself.
I love Henry Golding. Henry, I'm with you. I just wish you weren't Snake Eyes, so we could have taken your face off.
I have a suggestion here that I just happened to look up, literally attractive British actors, and I did get a mix of men and
your
women. But
it's gonna be hilarious.
Oh yeah, no. Listen, the FBI is definitely already on my case for the kind of shit that I'm fucking looking up.
Like, what is he looking up?
I mean, he left one franchise rather bloodily, and now I doubt he's going to be running around too much. I think Richard Madden could probably pull off.
Oh, Richard Madden, The Bodyguard. You ever seen that show, The Bodyguard?
I was say, Joel put me onto The Bodyguard.
I didn't see that yet.
Show. I wouldn't hate
you thought he's good.
I wouldn't hate that. Again, he's one of those names.
Classic.
Like when Daniel Craig was first cast, like we all said, it was just kind of like, what? Who? Huh? And then when you see him, it's kind of like, shit, it works. That's how I felt about The Bodyguard. I'm like, I liked Richard in this. I'm like, he could do that for sure.
I never saw that.
I
never got into the Daniel Craig ones, but that I'm with Jay and you, Juwaan. Pierce Brosnan was my guy. I don't need a Jason Bourne 007. I like a quirky, fun 007 who's using like Q's crazy ass machines and clicking pens that explode and shit like that. If I want to see somebody get the shit knocked out of them by getting, punched out, I'll go elsewhere for a different action movie. I don't need that in James Bond.
But see, that's what I did appreciate when the first director of Daniel Craig's franchise said, I wanted to be different. I kind of feel like we've had the same formula, and I get it. People are like, I'm fine with that formula. I get it. I understand. But to him, he was saying, let's switch it up. You know,
Yeah, you know who else thought they wanted to be different? First of all, the guy who did that abysmal Ghostbusters shit, he wanted to be different too. Or the guy who decided to make the Riddler Hush, he wanted to be different. That didn't work out either. See how we come full circle?
I enjoyed those movies.
Are you really comparing those two?
No, I'm really just trying to bust Juwan's chops.
I will say though, you make a good point, because it did seem awkward when they tried to work in gadgets into Daniel Craig's world.
I didn't think it was awkward at all. I thought it was
awkward because I kind of felt like you weren't using it. And again, I'm not one of those people that's like, you got to have the gadgets and whatnot. I liked what they did with it, but it seemed as though the gadgets weren't really as big of a thing in his movies as they were in all the movies before.
Because in my opinion, at least, it was kind of like it was the Batman Begins of James Bond's. It was like, that's how it started. It was like him becoming 007, and it was him evolving into the James Bond that we eventually get in the movies. That's why, to me, it was just a progression to that character.
Oh, no. Wait, do you think I'm speaking off of just because I'm talking about all of his movies so far? I feel like they sporadically use.
To me, it wasn't. There wasn't more clear. It was more like the gadgets, especially, became more of a thing once they introduced Q, in Skyfall. Once it became more the more classic James Bond, but still kept the seriousness of the ones that we were already getting, in my opinion.
Okay. Jaydee, we're about to go to the last one, but if you have to jump before that, let me know. We're going on the last one now.
All right, the last one. Let's go for it.
All right. So last one here. How
much work? We'll chuck of
them. No. We'll be here all day. Here's our last one. Nia DaCosta admits she's a huge comic nerd and even pitched an awesome team up movie in her Marvel meeting. Quote, I just nerded out. I was like, here are movies I think you should do. Galactus, Storm, and Scott Summers team up movie, blah, blah, blah. So my question is, with her taking on the Marvels, she's taking on the Marvels. When she said that, I think she's in the mindset that a lot of us are in, to where we want to just hurry up and get there. Is it something that we should just be on the wait for? Or are we of the mindset of Feige has to announce the X-Men sooner rather than later? Jaydee, I'll start with you.
Be on the wait for it. You know, it's not here yet. We know we're getting Fantastic Four next. You know, let it percolate. Let it percolate. Let it build up. You know, you could tease, you could drop maybe one or two mutants, but we don't need everything at one time. It's like having sex for the first time. You know what I mean? Don't blow it all out there in one fucking shot.
You know, it's funny you say that, because if I had to
watch, kid, I'm curious where this comparison's going.
Yeah.
No comparison. I'm actually going to move off from that.
Okay.
No, but it's funny. It's funny that you say that about the Fantastic, about X-Men, Fantastic Four, because if someone asked me, I would, in my mind, I think it's more immediate to do X-Men than it is Fantastic Four. I think you can wait on Fantastic Four, because that last Fantastic Four movie was so abysmal. People are kind of just like, all right, whenever they come, they come.
No.
But it's the idea of, we've been waiting for X-Men to interact with Avengers for so long.
How is that any different than having sex for the first time?
No, that's why I said I'm moving off from that. I didn't even want to try to.
It goes hand in hand.
I didn't even want to try to go off of that. But Pete, are you shaking your head? Is X-Men something we need to continue to be on the wait for, or is that something we should get sooner rather than later?
I've been saying this for quite some time now, on the subject of like Mephisto and Dr. Doom and these other great concepts, these villains, these heroes, these stories. Stop fucking waiting. He who hesitates, as they say, let's go back to Jay's analogy. He who hesitates, do y'all know how that finishes? There you go. Like something my father always told me was strike while the iron is hot. Stop waiting on these characters, whether I don't know. I don't know what the reasoning could possibly be. You're waiting for the proper moment. You're waiting for the dramatic reveal. You don't have the story lined up yet. You can line a story up with a good writer at any moment. Start bringing these characters in, because I keep saying it, this little bubble that we've built for ourselves can only last for so long. You know, we're getting on probably let's assume from 2008 on, from Iron Man 1 on. We're getting on year 14. We're already probably past due the fad of the spaghetti Western franchise. I don't remember quite how long that lasted. Maybe it was like 20 years. You know, we're getting there. And it's only a matter of time, unfortunately, before the public loses interest. Like, oh, it's another fucking comic book movie. And then we're back to straight to Blu-ray or straight to fucking streaming releases. I mean, hell, it's already happening. We're getting straight to streaming shit. And even though they're great, you know, how long is that going to last? Just do it already. Give us the X-Men. Give us the Fantastic Four. Put it all out there at once. Make 17 movies a year. It's not like we're not going to go see them.
I will say, I spoke about this with my friend Mark Hughes, who writes for Forbes, and we were saying how I don't think it's comparable. I don't think it's comparable because when you look at Westerns, there's only but so much creativity you can put into a Western. There's only but so much one Western could be different from another Western.
That's fair.
We've seen the MCU evolve within its own self. And it's like MCU 10 years ago is not the same as where the MCU is now. It's evolved. And not even to mention, think about what Amazon's doing with Invincible. Think about what it's doing with The Boys. Think about DC hasn't even hit its peak yet.
Will it ever?
We don't know. we don't know. Let's hope so. But what I'm saying is, I don't think people will ever grow stale because superhero movies aren't the same. They're not even formulaic in the sense of being the same. It's why Warner Brothers looked at DC and said, well, Marvel's bright and people like that. Let's make our Justice League bright and happy. And it's just like, no, that's why people hated it. Don't be like Marvel. You're supposed to be the more eerie and darker world.
Not necessarily. I mean, they could have fucking did it if they would have started that way, but they didn't.
Exactly.
And
well, see, I think making it dark was what some people, not all, was what some people flocked to because it was different from Marvel.
They don't let us forget.
Right. Because it was different from Marvel. But I don't think there will ever become a time, or if it is, it has to be at least 20 years down the line. I think, Pete, we can face that road once we get to Galactus, because then that's the moment where we say as fans, well, what do you do now? Like,
I appreciate your optimism. This is why I like you. You're optimistic.
Is Galactus, so I agree. Like,
yeah, I mean, once you get there,
I'll worry once we get all the way over there.
Once we get to Galactus, it's like, I don't know what you do now, because you already did Young Avengers. You already, like, you're doing everything.
Through the whole library at that point, right?
Yeah, so you've emptied your clip. That's why I said the only thing that can continue this fandom
is doing Eternals.
Is if DC hits its stride, because we haven't even seen even a glimpse of what DC can do. Think about it. Think about the day DC can mix Justice League with the fucking Watchmen, and we get that whole event happening.
Think about just Justice League doing Justice League right.
I never want to see that.
Right.
Ever.
Right. No, I'm sorry. Doomsday was a really good comic.
Cool, yeah.
Yeah, I enjoyed that run. Flash picking up the pen. I fucking loved it. That would blow my mind in the.
I had everybody, bro. That was crazy.
I had a shit ton of people. But Joel, to end this off, do you think it's just worth the wait, or do you kind of feel like with Eternals, with seeing Wanda emerge, to where it's kind of just like, well, it's hot now. Like, why wait? It's literally hot now. Or do you kind of just think it's Feige? It's all part of a plan.
Well, I mean, I don't mind waiting. I don't expect it to fall off anytime soon. But they have stories we have time. Like, I want to see them right away, of course. I would love to see the MCU version of the X-Men and Fantastic Four. I've been waiting forever for good versions of those team characters, you know? So yes, I would love it right away, but I don't mind waiting because there's stuff they're giving me now. Like, I'm looking forward to new stuff already, and like, it's not like they're not giving me anything. You know, there's constantly new shit coming out, and so once it's like you have foreplay. You don't go right into the action. You play with it. then you go right then. You know, you work your way towards the end zone. You know what I'm saying? And so once you hit it, the climax is even better. You know what I'm saying?
Joel makes a great point. So Joel should have went after Jaydee, so he could tie the analogy.
I like the callback, kid. I like that. You're learning from our pregame. I love that.
No, but look, you guys both make great points. Knowing Feige, we know it's all part of the plan, and all of his plans have worked out so far. But it is the idea of you have it, and we've already waited 30 years, it feels like, to get to this moment. Don't make me wait any longer. Just pop it in now.
That's also why the multiverse kind of scares me. I don't want to slow it down. The multiverse might slow it down.
That is true.
That's why it scares me. I'm like, oh, we're doing so well. Let's not go too far away from the main goal.
That's why I said Doctor Strange 2 should loop that shit off. Loop it off, close it, move on. No more.
Can't do it. Loki season 2 is going to be out way after Doctor.
I'm really curious because I don't know if we know that it has to be about that.
I think it should.
You said it should?
Yeah, where else would you loop that in? To me, Loki should end.
I don't know.
That should probably be looped in with Loki, in my opinion. It started there, it should end there.
See, if Loki only has 2 seasons, which I'm keeping in mind that it does, if it comes right after Doctor Strange, then I'm fine with that. Let Loki be what closes it off.
Next shit comes out when?
That's okay.
I just need something soon to close this shit off. Doesn't matter what it is.
We're gonna get a Loki season 2, right? So
yes. It comes out next year. It's supposed to come out next year, I think. In the next year.
I mean, if they depend on when they start filming, because right now they're filming. Are they still filming Hawkeye? I think they might be almost done with that.
No, Hawkeye's done because it comes out. I think they said November.
Yeah, and Ms. Marvel's pretty much done too.
Yeah.
So they're pretty much done. They're filming Moon Knight and She-Hulk still.
Mm-hmm.
So by next year they can already move on. The Secret Invasion I think started too.
And also Armor Wars is about to start soon.
Armor Wars is going to start soon, and then I don't know. Ironheart obviously will probably start after they finish filming
Black Panther.
Right.
Or depending on how much of that movie she's in.
So Loki, yeah, probably will start filming next year to maybe come out in 2023. I'll say.
Okay, fair. Then that's fine. That's fine, Joel. My goal is just to end it. When you end it, just end it sooner rather than later. But all right, so I'm definitely looking forward to. Shout out to Nia DaCosta. Who said this? She's doing the Marvels. I can't wait.
That's what we were talking about.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what she does with that. That begins filming soon. So I'm really, really, really excited.
Credit to her for knowing those characters. She is a true nerd.
Well, she said she's a really, really, really big nerd. I mean,
Scott and Storm and Galactus. That's the
I don't think many people have the balls to go into an interview with Feige on a movie that you're supposed to be worrying about and talking to him about something that has nothing to do with what you're working on. Feige must have been like, what? No, Nia, no, focus, Marvels. But anyway, I want to thank Joel, Pete, and Jaydee for joining me on an all-new episode of Figure It Out. Stay tuned. We have our MCR breaking down What If tomorrow.
Woo!
Finally, and look, it's the Doctor Strange episode. I don't think that it's a coincidence. This episode comes right after this Spider-Man trailer. It's not a coincidence. Nice. There's a lot we should pay attention to coming out of this episode. And Shang-Chi comes out this week. So we'll be seeing it, and our breakdown will be both a GVN exclusive one and then, of course, a Figure It Out one, where we all talk about our thoughts on the movie. So stay tuned for that. But thank you guys. Until next time.
Salud, everybody.
Peace.